Welcome back to Pure Nebraska. On Wednesdays here on the daily program, we like to put the focus on the farm women's group Common Ground.
Yeah, the group is working hard to get a positive message out to consumers about conventional farming practices. So joining us now with more is Kristen. She's from Martell, Nebraska, and glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Good to see you again. Yeah.
Thanks for driving here in the rain.
That's right.
Yeah.
Up the muddy roads today.
Well, Kristen, we've been to your farm and talked to your husband Todd about calving season. And so today you're going to talk about range monitoring. So what does that mean?
Well, this time of year, obviously, our cows are eating grass. They're in the pastures. And so during the fall and winter times, or if a cow is in a feed yard, their diet is monitored very closely. We know exactly how much they're eating of all the different ingredients and what vitamins and minerals and nutrients are in that food. When you put them in a pasture, you're sort of kind of taking a guess, unless you're actually going out there and monitoring what you have. So what we do on our farm is just that. We take samples of what kinds of grass we have, and we begin with a common point in our pasture, and we measure a distance with the tape from our common point. We also use this yardstick, basically, and to measure the height of the grass. Then along the tape that we have thrown out, or that we have laid out, we will throw this, kind of like a frisbee, this ring out onto the tape, and we will look at the different species of grasses and forbs that are in that area. Are they the types of grasses that cattle like to eat? Are they the types of grasses and forbs that have good nutrition? Just as if you're at home making a meal for your family, you're thinking about, is there protein? Are there fruits and veggies? It's the same kind of thing with the cattle. And we also need to know how much they're eating, just as all of us have to kind of watch how much we eat. So we actually will take a pair of clippers and we'll clip off some of the grass, put it in this just a brown lunch bag, and we measure in grams after it's dried down how much there is for the animal to eat within this amount of space.
Wow. I never knew that there was that much effort going into, finding out what the cows are eating.
And you're talking about serving sizes, so how can this relate to families?
Well, in order for our cattle to be healthy, to raise calves that can be taken to a feed yard and fattened so that we can have hamburgers and steaks and roasts and the things that we like to eat, our cattle have to eat what's appropriate for them. They have to have enough, and it has to have the right nutrition, just the same as you do with your family. So if we don't know that that is what our animals are getting, they may not be able to raise a healthy calf, they may not be able to maintain their body condition or to grow as they need to grow. So that's really important. And also, if we take too much grass this year, just the same as like mowing your lawn, if you mow your lawn too short, it's not going to be as healthy as if you just take a little bit off the top and you leave some of that grass to shade the ground, to absorb the moisture and those kinds of things.
And we're looking at video here.
That's at your farm. A little earlier in the year, of course, there, but what do you do if you don't have the correct amount of grasses or the correct amount of, nutrients in the pasture? Do you just add that in then?
Well, that is one option. You can actually go back and seed different types of things. Like a lot of people will seed a legume, which is a leafy forb like alfalfa or a clover, something like that. They'll seed in. Our pastures are native virgin tall grass prairie. So what we do is try to manage the species. We want those species to stay healthy, that have been here forever. It's never been broken from the time that's been homesteaded. So we want to have those grasses remain healthy. So we use our cattle to do that. We'll pull them out. We'll add extra ones if we need to keep it from getting to the point where the grass is going to go to seed so that it keeps growing well. Just a variety of things like that. Prescribed burnings. We do prescribed burnings. And it's all based on what we find when we're out there looking.
Really interesting, and really interesting to know how much work is going into something like this. So great. Thank you, Kristen, for joining us today and sharing your thoughts about this and being a part of Common Ground.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.